Hey, Rich. Hey, everybody. Eric Elias here again with some more acoustic guitar. I want to talk to you about two-hand tapping and some contemporary acoustic stuff once again. And again, I'm using a thumb pick, the Shark Tooth crossover, and getting a lot of mileage out of this in terms of being able to play my single lines. And strum a little bit. And finger style. And kind of put all that together. Well, what I'm doing, I've got this little song called There's a 50% Chance of Weather, and that's on my first CD called Conversations with My Strings. And it's a little two-hand, has some two-hand tapping parts in it, which are actually pretty simple. And I used to make jokes about my fingerstyle playing, that it was all smoke and mirrors. And really, a lot of fingerstyle guitar playing is just the illusion of a lot happening, but you're keeping, kind of juggling. You're keeping one ball in the air while, one's in your hand, and you're just kind of moving things along. And that's how this works. But it starts out with just an E minor 11 chord, and if you haven't played 11s, they're pretty cool and they're very easy. I'm barring here at the 7th fret across 5 of the strings. I'm avoiding the E string. I'm playing that open. And then I'm just playing G on the 8th fret of the B string with my middle finger. So I'm getting this cool E minor 11 to F sharp minor 11. And in this tune I kind of fluctuate back and forth with that, and then I throw in these little random licks, mostly E minor scale stuff. That's harmonic minor. Well, part of the harmonic minor anyway. And I've got the flat 7th there, so I'm not quite harmonic minor, going in and out of Dorian to harmonic minor. But anyway, E minor, you can do arpeggio, E minor scale, and if you haven't, a lot of the Guitar College lessons we've covered arpeggios before, and I think we've covered some scales and modes before, but anyway, E minor. You can get away with, in the key of E minor, noodling in D major, because E minor is the 2nd degree of the D major scale, and we call that the Dorian mode. Or you can do E blues or E pentatonic. Anything at all, you're noodling, and on this song in particular, I kind of go in between, those chords and then some sort of a lick, and then I might do E minor, and I'm just E minor with a 9 there, or sorry, 7, and that's a D with an F sharp in the bass, to a G, and then back to my E minor. And then here's where I start to do my kind of funky thing. And what that is, let's actually give you a close-up of my left hand so you can see that. What I'm doing, I'm going to show you both hands, is I'm tapping with my thumb. I'm not using the pick part of my thumb pick. I'm actually tapping with the sort of the knuckle of my thumb. And what I've seen players do is guys like Keaggy tap with his sort of maybe the flat part of the fingers, to get a percussive sound. You're kind of getting a slapped harmonic and a percussive sound. But because I was a slap bass player for a long time, using my thumb, I just kind of gravitated towards slapping the strings with my thumb. So that's what I do, just kind of using the outer edge of my right hand thumb to kind of get a harmonic and a percussive sound at the same time. And I'm slapping around my 12th fret, you know, hoping that in some chance in hitting the strings there, I'm going to get a little bit of that 12th fret harmonic ring. But my left hand is just doing E minor. It's just, I'm kind of walking up the bass. And then I do a little... I guess I sort of strum a little bit with the thumb, but you don't with the up side of the pick. And then I'm going to do a harmonic at the 5th fret and strum. Harmonic at the 7th fret with a strum. And at the 12th fret. I do my two-hand tapping, and again it's percussive effect with my right hand, and I'm doing a triplet with my left hand. So I'm getting that percussive slap, and then a triplet. Triplet, 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 triplet. And I'm just slapping the open string, basically my low E and A, and then I'm hammering, so I get that triplet, and I'm doing the 7th fret of the A string at first to the 9th fret of the D string, and then I'm moving that up to the 7th fret of the low E string to the 9th fret of the A. So your left hand is almost in a power chord shape. We're just hammering. And then move it up a fret. And move it down a minor 3rd. So I'm at the 7th fret on the A string, 7th fret on the E string, 8th fret on the E string, 5th fret on the E string. And then I'm also kind of trying to get harmonics on the high strings too as I do that. So my thumb is kind of covering a little bit of ground there, back and forth on the low and high strings. And then you can tap. Really all I'm doing, I mean it sounds neat, but I'm just tapping the 12th fret of my B string, and I'm doing those same chords or same notes with my left hand, and the triplets consisting of then hitting this 12th fret. And then I'm also hitting, I moved back and forth to the 12th frets of the E and G strings also. And you can kind of move around there, and then what I do in this tune is I sort of fade that out with time. The time sort of fades. I slow it down, and then I go right back to that intro. You can end on an E7, E minor 7 or something, and some harmonics. So that's really the tune. And you got some cool percussive and two-hand tapping techniques just by doing some triplets. That's really, when I play slap bass, that's really all I'm doing a lot in my, doing a lot of triplets in my slap bass playing too. So you can get a lot of mileage out of stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.